Hey guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to Zelda News. I'm your host Bastian. Let's get to the first story. By now you have certainly seen this amazing video. It comes from Read Only Memory, which is basically an artist. That's the name that he's using. And what he did is he created not a parody, not a joke video, but just an actual video of what it would be like if the original Legend of Zelda had a cartoon. Now, of course, the original Legend of Zelda did have a cartoon, but let's forget about that and focus on this, which really truly feels like this is what Nintendo would have actually done had they had more creative control and such. And I wish that this was a whole series. I would love to watch something like this. It just perfectly replicates the Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda vibe. I loved it. I hope that this artist does more. The artist is actually somebody that you're probably already familiar with if you've seen the infamous Pizza Links video, which had a bunch of links from various games, the Wind Waker Link, Twilight Princess Link, Cartoon Link, and even the CDI Link, all sitting around eating pizza together. And anyways, that's an amusing, silly video. This is an amazing, heartfelt video. You gotta watch it. Link for you down below. Our next story is an amusing piece of Zelda trivia, and that's the fact that the sign in Majora's Mask for Romani's Ranch, actually, the sign translates into "Welcome to Kakariko Village." And that's because when making Majora's Mask, they simply reused, of course you'll know, reused all of the graphics from Ocarina of Time, so they just took the whole graphic asset of the Welcome to Kakariko Village big wooden structure thing and plopped that down in front of Romani Ranch. That's the way it translates. Of course, you'll know that it turns out that actually Ocarina of Time's version of Hylian translates into Japanese, and so you can translate basically all of the Hylian text in Ocarina into Japanese, and then from the Japanese into English. But anyways, now we know. Romani Ranch is Kakariko Village. Then our final story is the long overdue Zelda Classic 2.5 is finally out. Now, for those not familiar with Zelda Classic, it's an amazing program that I actually used. I started using it back in its 1.65 or something like that iteration, and then I stopped using it at around its 2.10. Which I guess is the only 2.10 was the most recent before the 2.5. But anyways, what it is an individual went ahead and sort of tried to recreate basically Zelda 1's programming and created an editable sort of program so that you could use this program to create Zelda 1 style games. Now, very specifically Zelda 1 style. So all of its quirks and nuances. Over the years, Zelda Classic has sort of grown up. They've put more and more stuff into it to sort of bring it closer to a more modern era top-down Zelda-style games like Link to the Past and so on. But really, it is pretty much a Zelda 1 engine. So anyways, 2.5 really brings a whole lot of new things to the table. Things like edible enemies, which was not really possible before. You were stuck with the Zelda 1 enemies basically, and things along those lines. So I can't wait to get my hands on it. I actually, truth be told, I created quite a few Zelda 1 style games with Zelda Classic back in the day, none of which were really all that good, to be honest with you. I created a third quest, just like basically everybody does who gets their hands on Zelda Classic, because, you know, you've got all the tools right there. What I did is I tried to make it tried to follow all of the rules presented in the second quest of Legend of Zelda. So things like only minorly tweaking the overworld, changing the dungeon locations, of course brand new dungeons and things like that. Maybe I'll make that available. I don't know if you can actually play old iterations of Zelda Classic games on the new 2.5, but I did a lot of things. I created a version of Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link in the style of Zelda 1, but basically the limitation of only being able to use the Zelda 1 enemies made me not want to release it, because it just felt kind of odd to not have the Thunderbird in there and things like that. So I don't know, maybe now I'll actually be able to make that dream a reality, but actually probably by now somebody's already done that. But anyways, if you want to check out Zelda Classic 2.5, there's a link for you down below. So finally, I'd just like to give some quick shout-outs to everybody who contributed to the HD Cam Fund for Bastian Time. I thank you guys so much. You made it happen. I've now got enough funds to go ahead and procure a new cam in HD. So yeah, I know that YouTube lately has been claiming that these videos have been in 720, but I mean, you can probably tell that the quality really isn't 720. It's just that the cam has been filming everything at 480, but then when I export it, it stretches it up to 720, but it's still bad quality, still only at 15 frames per second, so sorry about that. But thanks to Sven R, Legendary Smith, Corey W, Rico D, Jeremy J, Sebastian M, Melvin H, and Marco H. We're going to be getting a new HD cam to make these videos all that much more nice. So again, thanks to everybody who contributed, and I'll see you in HD. And that's it for this episode of Zelda News. Tomorrow is the second Nintendo News episode. See you then. Bye, guys.